Hey everyone, it's Kelsey here, and today I'm going to share with you my project life for week 28. I had already kind of had a vague idea of how I wanted to lay out some of my photos and stuff, so that's why you see me at the beginning of the video just laying some stuff out pretty quickly. And that Instagram photo I immediately layered on top of this card, and I kind of liked that the camera on that was not going the right way. I used the other side of the card for the layout from last week for my Project Life Week 27. So I thought it was just kind of just an added detail, and it saves me from digging out another 4x6 card or using a 4x6 card that I really like. So yeah, I just thought the camera was some added interest without me having to embellish a card. And I do have some journaling cards this week, so obviously those are really easy to just slip into the pockets. And you just figure out a spot for them, and it's just a really easy pocket to fill. And sometimes I do try to dress up my journaling cards, and other times I don't at all. So it just kind of depends on the mood that I'm in and what the journaling's about, and if I have a stamp or an enamel dot or some kind of embellishment. But this week I happen to have a stamp, so I'm going to ink that up with that Emerald City ink from Studio Calico and just put a little stamp on there. And then I'll just slip that photo and that journaling card into the pockets where I want them to go. And then this photo is of my dog. I take a lot of photos of my dog lately. I mean, not lately, just in general. But he looks so cute yawning, so I had to take a picture of him, and I just put one of those little, I don't know, they were like resin. It wasn't like an enamel or a badge, but it was just, I don't know, it was like a little resin piece. They were kind of weird and different. But anyway, this is Wild, and since he was yawning, he looked kind of like a wild animal, so I just decided to go with that and embrace it. On this photo, I just cut it down. I didn't really like the way it looked whenever I cut down a little piece of it, so I decided to just cut it down into, like a almost 3x3 square. I wasn't precise at all. I just cut that picture down, and I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on this card at the right, and I'm also going to do some journaling about that photo on the left hand side that I just cut down. Kind of a funny story. I went to the my grocery store, and I was trying to buy like a particular kind of meat that they didn't have like out with the packaged meats, and they wrapped it up in like a brown little piece of paper or whatever, and they stuck the sticker on it, and I was like, hey, I think this might be my first time buying meat in a brown paper, and it just seemed very, I don't know, not adult, but it just seems like something you see more like in cities whenever, people buy from their local markets and whatnot. But here in the Midwest, everything's just like prepackaged, like you just pick it up. Or on the other hand, it comes from a farm that it's alive 1 minute and then you're picking it up the next day. So, kind of two extremes. But, yeah, it was just kind of a funny little thing, so I just decided to document it by saying, hey, I have meat in a brown paper wrapper. Kind of a funny story, but that's what I like to include in my project life. So I did decide to go ahead and round some of the corners on these cards from Stampin' Up. And I mean, if you follow along to this channel, I'm not fussy about rounding the corners if my corners even match. Sometimes I have to admit, lately when I've seen my photos of the project life, it kind of bugs me seeing the corners not matching or whatever, but for the most part, when I'm just flipping through my album, it doesn't bother me at all. So, I like the look of the square photos too, and the square 3x4 cards and 4x6 cards. But since most things are rounded, it's just easier to round the corners sometimes. And this week I didn't really feel like digging out any alphabet stickers or any stamps or anything, so I ended up just handwriting the date and the week, and I messed up the date, but I just left it. And again, I've got a couple of journaling cards here, so that makes it easy to, like I said, just fill in the pockets quickly. So I just added a little wood veneer. That's why I really like the wood veneers that Studio Calico includes. It's just so easy to add one onto a photo that doesn't really need any more embellishing. So I need to get more creative with my project life. I want to get more creative with my project life and make more like mini layouts on a 3x4 or a 4x6 card instead of just putting the photos and the journaling cards into the pockets. But as you guys know, I'm super behind, so I haven't been breaking out the watercolors or sewing or anything. I need to find a spot for my sewing machine because right now it's on top of a bookcase and it's not plugged in, and I don't really have a space where I can just pull it out and use it on my desk. So I just haven't been sewing lately, and I really miss that element on my layouts. Not that I ever sewed a ton, but I do like to sew once in a while on a layout. So here I am actually trying to layer something up and just make a filler card on the go. And I'm not sure that I love that card, but I do know that I want to use that tag that says Hello Summer. It is from, I think, Crate Paper, the Pier, which was, I think, last summer that came out, but I still have a cut apart sheet, and I think I have a whole 12x12 paper pad as well. So and there I just matted that photo onto a 4x6 pocket. This was actually, I guess, the week of using cards that were sideways, because I like that the way that today was written. It was off to the side and it showed a picture of me and my grandma. So yeah. And then that Hello Summer, I'm still debating where or how I want that to go, or what card I want it on. But I did like this card. It says, "It does not matter how slowly you go, it just matters that you get there, or that you go." And this is a photo of my grandma and I going on a little road trip. So I thought it was kind of fitting, because she's in a wheelchair, so it's not always easy to get her out and get her going. But like the card says, it doesn't matter how slowly you go, it just matters that you're getting there and doing something. So I really like that. So this week I actually did play a little bit, and I used some squeezed lemonade, and I think Spun Sugar is the other color that I use, Distress Inks, and I use that mask. It's kind of like a starburst, so maybe I should have done yellow on top of the pink. But this card wasn't super creative, but it was fun to just do something a little bit different and just share it with you guys. So I guess I forgot that I did this that week, because let's see, if that's week 28, and I think this is week 37 or 38, so I'm really far behind. So I've got to catch up. I say this every week, but I've got to catch up. So anyway, I'm putting everything back away, and I've still got this Hello Summer card that I want to work with and layer up and do something with. So I actually really like that red doily. I don't know what's into me with the doilies lately, but I've been embracing them. Normally they're very old-fashioned to me and I don't like them, but yeah, lately I've been embracing the doily. And this was just like such a bright, like reddish orange, that I felt like it was perfect for like a Hello Summer kind of page, which I think week 28 was in July, so it's not really like the very beginning of summer or anything, but I just use summer stuff all over. So check out some photos on my blog if you want to see them, and I will see you guys again soon.